Welcome back to the Adventures in Business podcast, where we embark on the captivating journey into the realm of entrepreneurship. In this episode, we have the honor of sitting down with Casey Papendieck, the visionary owner and founder of Turtle Farm Pottery. Join us as we dive deep into Casey's extraordinary story, exploring the triumphs, challenges, and invaluable insights gained on his path to success. Get ready to be inspired, motivated, and equipped to navigate the ever-changing landscape of business. This is Adventures in Business, and the adventure starts now. Dude, thanks for having me at your house.
You're welcome.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad it's a beautiful morning.
Yeah, I'm glad I got here early because the birds are singing so beautifully right now.
Yeah.
Sun's shining. The garden looks beautiful.
Thanks.
We're going to be able to see that in part 2 of this video, which is going to be cool.
Oh, cool.
But I think your story is so awesome. And I'm so glad to see you, too. It's been a long time.
I'm glad to see you, too. Yeah, it's nice that you said that. Thank you.
It's probably been since like before COVID.
Yeah, right? Yeah,
a lot has changed.
Yeah.
What a wild couple of years we've had.
Yeah. Yeah, you look good. You've done well.
You look good.
Thanks.
You look better. In your TikTok videos, you got a big beard. You've shaved it since.
Yeah, I kind of just whacked her off there. Yep.
Getting ready for the summer?
Actually, it was just, I went to a couple of weddings in the spring.
Okay.
One of them was in Vietnam. And
it wasn't beard friendly.
Yeah, it was kind of like, I'm just going to cut this off here so people don't have a hard time with it.
So you said it was in Vietnam?
Yeah, a buddy of mine got married over in Vietnam.
How was that experience?
That's really cool. Yeah, we just ate soup for like every meal. That's just what you do over there. Soup for breakfast with like bacon in it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Best coffee I've ever had.
Really?
In Vietnam.
Oh, cool.
Man.
What kind of coffee are we drinking here?
This is roasted out in Virginia. Some friends of mine, Eastern Shore Coastal Roasting. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cheers to them.
Yeah.
And cheers to good coffee businesses in Virginia.
Heck yeah. They're out on the Eastern Shore. They're way out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit how you got into pottery. I know you've had like a unique journey in this, and now you've created a really cool business. And really out in the Red River Gorge, it's in the middle of nowhere. There's not even cell phone signal here, which is great in some ways, but I'm sure that brings challenges. But you've got really good Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But anyways.
We didn't used to. When we first moved here, there was like a play structure out here, and we would have to climb up on the upper section of the play structure and then attach our phone to like a long stick and put it way up in the air to get a cell signal. It was like fishing. And then we'd bring it down and send a text and then send it way back up. That's how we started here. Yeah.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
All right. So talk about your journey into pottery and what kind of attracted you to it.
Man, pottery. I was in high school in Salem, Oregon. And it was like 1996 or 7, right in there. And I was kind of just messing up and, not really liking school and stuff like that. Nothing was really clicking for me. I was getting in trouble a lot. And then I was able to take a pottery class at my high school, which is really cool, really special thing to be able to do. And from the first time I sat at the wheel, I was like, oh my gosh, there was something that I had no idea what was going on at the time, but I know it felt right. And I was able to start making pots, and I actually started feeling like self-worth and like I'd never really like worked with my hands before. And that experience kind of opened my mind to like a whole bunch of possibilities that I'd never thought of before. So that's how I first was introduced to clay, and that was my junior year. And by my senior year, I was like the pottery, like assistant for a period or whatever, like a teacher's assistant. Mm-hmm. I had a pottery class. And then I even had like a study hour in the pottery. So I was in there like 3 hours of the day, just like all in. Yeah.
Wow.
But I always said I was going to, become a potter because I loved it from high school, but I got pretty sidetracked when I got out of school and did a whole bunch of other stuff besides pottery for a long time.
What'd you do before pottery when you got out of school?
Well, lots of stuff, but mainly I went traveling
Okay.
and lived in a van, traveled all around the country, and was a musician with my wife Laura, and we've played gigs all over, doing that. And I mean, I've worked lots of jobs. I worked at Nike.
Really?
Yeah. I was
in like a retail store or like the warehouse?
in like a factory. Yeah,
Okay.
like in Oregon. Like I was on the line where they make the air soles I was running the machine that cuts them out of a grid. You just like put your arms down and it makes the machine and then you stack them up and put them in boxes.
I bet that was a wild experience.
Yeah, I made it about a month. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
a pretty good month. I came into work one night and then the machine was just broken and it was just spitting out plastic drool and stuff. They're like, your job tonight is just to pick up that stuff and throw it away. And I was just like walked over and clocked out. I never
And never saw him again.
Yeah. As a very important step on my path to pottery.
Yeah.
Becoming a potter.
So what was your least favorite job and what was your favorite job before becoming an entrepreneur?
Oh gosh. That's a tough question. I've had so many jobs. I think Nike was probably, one of my least favorite jobs for sure.
Yeah, only being there 30 days. I can't imagine you enjoyed it too much.
No, it was pretty rough. But some of my favorite jobs have been like working at Skybridge Station down in the gorge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was pouring beer and cooking hot dogs down there right before while I started the pottery business. I was still doing that when I got out of school. That was a great job because it put me in the community and it was like fast paced and fun. And I made a lot of great friends.
Which eventually led to collaboration with you and one of the owners.
And that's how the bricks started. Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly. Clifton started the ice cream coffee shop across the street, and we made a deal where we would have our pottery in there as well.
Yeah.
It's like kind of two businesses in one spot, really.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful, beautiful little space.
He did a great job renovating that building and getting that business going. But when I was working at Skybridge, I was making pots, and then I would go down there and make hot dogs. And there became a point where I was losing money when I went to go make hot dogs. I was making more money with the pottery. And that was a cool kind of transition zone where I realized this is going to work. I have to actually quit my job to do pots. Yeah.
Which is cool.
It's great.
Probably a scary experience in some ways. No?
It is. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Entrepreneurship is just, it's a lot.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
It's definitely scary at times, but it's so rewarding.
Yeah. It is very rewarding.
Yeah.
But yeah, I after traveling a bunch, I went to Berea College. We had a band that broke up that we were me and Laura were just touring all over the eastern side of the country, and for a living, that's like what we were doing. And that band kind of disbanded, and we didn't know what we were going to do. We were thinking about moving back to like Austin, Texas, where we used to live, where we had met, to pursue music. But then the opportunity to move to this place presented itself to us, and I thought, well, if we move to this place, to Turtle Farm, we can I can go to Berea College, and finish that bachelor's degree I've always wanted to do. And when I got accepted to Berea, I had to pick a major, and I remembered back to that high school pottery class, and I'm like, I think this is the time. I think I've done enough other stuff. I'm gonna go back to my high school dream and like study pottery.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, I love Berea, but I did that.
Really, really cool school.
Yeah, I loved every year. It was amazing. So many great resources and great professors and teachers and a vibrant, really cool community.
And that's where you met Noah?
I did meet Noah. Yeah, and we were in the ceramic apprenticeship program together.
Yeah.
And he was the best potter there for sure. And we became really great friends. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
In high school, whenever you got into making pots, was there like a particular teacher or somebody that inspired you to start that journey? Or Like, what made you get into it? I know you said you got into trouble a lot. You needed like an outlet to kind of release that sort of, I don't know, whatever it was. Maybe it was anger or something inside of you where you're trying to release it. But was there somebody that kind of led you that way, or did you get there on your own?
Not really in pottery class. I mean, our pottery teacher was awesome, Mr. Jacobson. He was like super low key and kind of let us get away with a lot. He actually had narcolepsy, and he would fall asleep like at his desk while we were making pots and stuff.
Oh, wow.
He would start to like, the first day of class, he was like, listen, y'all, we were in Oregon, so he didn't say that. He said, hey, listen, you guys, if I start to fall asleep, I have narcolepsy, please just wake me up. And we were horrible kids. He would start to fall asleep and he would just pass out, and I would go out, go down to the park and smoke a couple cigarettes and come back and make some pots or whatever. But he was really great because he just taught us pottery and let us, be kids and stuff. But I got kicked out of school a bunch, and there were some teachers at this alternative school I went to that really helped me, see value in myself. I needed a little more one-on-one kind of like teaching and stuff. And they gave me that. They were able to like look at the things I was doing like as like the public school was just like being like you're a bad kid or whatever. But these teachers were like, the alternative teachers were like, hey, like you have like leadership quality, and like you're an outside the box thinker and all this stuff. And honestly, they helped me learn that I do have like skills to be an entrepreneur. Maybe I don't fit in the mold very good. Maybe I've got some attitude problems, I got to work through. Yeah. But like I'm just not taking things for granted. And they kind of helped me realize some of the like skills that I have. I can't fathom you getting kicked out of school. You're like the kindest human being I know. I'm trying to picture that even, and I can't even get it in my brain. I'm a lot different now than I was in high school. I actually got... Now, I could see you skipping school and going out around the corner and firing up some heaters. Yeah. I could see that. Well, I definitely did that. Yeah, I got kicked out of all kinds of schools. That's pretty much all of them, yeah. Really? And that's when you were in high school? Or elementary school, was that a problem too? No, 7th grade through my senior year, I got kicked out every year, expelled. Except for my junior year. I made it through that year. Wow. What's the craziest thing you've done to like get expelled? Oh man. Like, can you even say this publicly? No. No, just being naughty. All right. What led you to the Red River Gorge? You're from Oregon. You lived in Texas for a while. You came to Berea. So what kind of led you to this place? To the gorge? To the gorge. Yeah, it's just like the beauty here. It just pulls everybody. I think I was in Texas at the time, and Laura and I were working at this like outdoor retail shop, and she was in college at the time at UT in Austin, and she had done like a student conservation like internship, the SCA, Student Conservation Association internship in Virginia. At Shenandoah. So she worked in that park for like 3 months, had a really great experience. And then I was like, wow, that sounds cool. Maybe I can do that, And I looked into it, and the Red River Gorge had a position open. And I was like, well, I've never been east of Texas. And I was really into rock climbing at the time. And I was like, I want to keep moving east. And so I applied for that internship as a backcountry ranger intern for like a 3-month position in the gorge, and got accepted. Did you just Google around and find that? On the website, yeah. Okay. Student Conservation Association. I think I'm saying that right. Yeah, it's been a long time, but the SCA. It's really cool that it's all national parks, national forests around the country, and they put students or young people or kind of whoever in these positions, 3-month positions at all these parks, and you can just have like, they give you a place to live and some food stipend. And you just work in the park for a few months. It's really cool. So I did that in the gorge and loved this place. Yeah. I lived in Stanton, across from the high school at the Forest Service compound there. And I had like a little RV I was living in. They put me in, and my job was a backcountry ranger. so mostly what they had me do is what they called social hiking. So I would hike all day in the gorge, and I would record data like these people are camping illegally. There's 6 of them and 2 dogs, and
Okay.
just say hi and then go on with my hike. Yeah, that was mostly my job. And then I did that and started meeting friends in the area and fell in love with this area and just stayed.
That's really cool. I would imagine that music was a thing that you were able to get into a network pretty fast because you all were musicians. You were kind of looking for that kind of thing, going to like small shows and that kind of stuff, meeting other musicians. Is that kind of how you sort of got connected with people? And I know you worked at Skybridge too, so that was a great connection with Clifton.
Yeah, that's a really insightful question.
Yeah,
I think about that a lot. Music has definitely been one of the biggest connectors in Laura and my life, in our lives together.
Yeah.
Yeah, because where we would play, we actually played, I forget what year it was, but we played at the station, I think once a month. We had like a regular gig there. And there's something about music that opens people up to you as a musician, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think because you're up there we write our own songs and stuff, so we're exposing sort of our thoughts and ideas and our art and voices and stuff to people, and that does something to where it just helps open people up to you, and you make friends and get invited to people's houses and they let you sleep on their couch, and it's kind of this weird magical thing. Yeah.
And it's a very like collaborative environment in that culture, which is really cool. And I think about, for myself, coffee has been sort of that for me.
Cool.
Like I play music and stuff too, but I never was traveling around in a band. I played in bands in high school.
Yeah.
I was in a heavy metal band once.
You were?
I was.
What was the name of it?
Aeropagus.
Aeropagus. Wow. That's heavy.
We were not very good.
Did you play lead?
If any of those guys are listening, sorry.
Were you the lead player?
No, I was more of a rhythm guy.
Heck yeah.
And I was the only one that moved around on stage usually. And I had like long hair.
Oh.
I was like headbanging.
Cool.
Wearing black t-shirts with like other bands on it.
Right.
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 That was a good phase for me.
Did you ever like go down on the knees or like?
Sometimes.
Yeah. You really got into it.
I got into it.
I love that.
I miss that sometimes, I'll be honest.
There's nothing like it.
I know. And then in college, I played in a like classic rock band. Again, rhythm. I'm not a lead guy, mostly rhythm.
Yeah.
Sing if I had to, but mostly just play rhythm and move around.
Cool.
I'm like the guy that just kind of runs around in circles.
So you're like a performer.
Jump. See, I like to perform.
Me too.
It's nice.
I think I'm a better performer than I am a musician.
Yeah. You're an performer and entertainer.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I love that.
But go ahead. Sorry.
My wife too. She plays accordion. She'll get down on her back and like do the Johnny Be Good.
Oh no.
She's a rock star.
We got to see that later.
Yeah, right?
Maybe we'll get you guys on camera playing a song together. That would be beautiful.
God, I don't know.
Can we do that?
I doubt it.
Okay.
Yeah. We haven't been
maybe
playing
not.
much. We're pretty rusty.
But I was going to say, going back full circle here, coffee has been that sort of connector for me. And that's how I kind of, the reason why I got into coffee was that sense of like connection, and the way people connect over a cup of coffee was just always, something that was interesting to me. And my first interaction with coffee was like my sitting on the porch with my mamaw, her telling stories and sipping coffee. And then you start to kind of realize that coffee is really like this center point around connectivity, community. And I don't know, it just pulled me in, kept pulling me in. And eventually I started a business around it. Found a gap in our area of, not really having a place to go to build community. And a lot of times a coffee shop is a hub for that.
Totally.
So that's what, led me to creating what I've created with Lincoln Road, and always kind of evolving and thinking about how do you build community around the brand now and, still do good things for your community.
That's awesome. And do you do the roasting?
Yeah. So right now I do all the roasting, all the brewing.
Whoa.
Make kombucha now.
You're making kombucha?
Yeah. I was going to bring you some and then I forgot.
Man, that would have been awesome.
Yeah. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
How many
mothers do you have?
I've just got one
Just
big one.
Just one big mama?
One big mama.
Awesome.
And then, the base that we make is the starter tea, really.
Mm-hmm.
And then
like a black tea?
Yeah, we serve it on draft, but you can actually like buy a growler and then you can go home and you can make your own SCOBY from it.
That's cool.
So during COVID, I got addicted to fermentation, which is kind of funny. Gardening and fermentation is really what my addictions were. And when I get obsessed about something, I will like do it balls to the wall for like a year.
Really?
Yeah.
And then kind of just tapers off? Or
tapers off.
Get something new?
Yeah. Still go back to it, but then I'm always craving something new.
Right. Did you get into like Sandor Katz's books and all that?
Mm-mm.
You haven't read his stuff?
No.
He's got the art of fermentation. It's real good.
That's awesome.
That's how I got into fermenting. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you doing like foods and stuff or mostly drinks?
Some, yeah.
Yeah.
So sourdough. I've got like a 3-year-old sourdough starter. So I make bread every week and pizza dough.
Oh, I love pizza.
Yeah. Had pizza last night. It was awesome.
Well, I'm jealous.
Then I started making kombucha, making beer.
Mm-hmm.
So just like all these kinds of things.
Cool. Have you done like a sauerkraut? Have you tried any veggies?
No.
That's
pickle a lot, but I don't ferment.
Oh man, that's the next step. If you're into gardening, we love that.
Y'all do kimchi here?
We do kimchi. We do like kohlrabi. We grow a bunch of kohlrabi and we like use our mandolin slicer and get it into thin strips and ferment it.
Gosh,
it's great on like tacos and stuff. We do like a fermented beets. That's pretty wild.
Oh, I bet that's good.
Yeah,
I love beets.
Yeah, and fermented pickles. You can ferment all that stuff.
That's awesome, man.
It's fun.
Yeah, I love it. I can't wait to go and like explore your garden.
Yeah, we've been working hard out there.
It looks great.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right, back to pottery. This is actually a gardening podcast now. You know what's great though? Like all these things, I feel like it leads back to mental health.
Yeah.
And it is just like so good for your mental health. All of these things.
Good. Yeah. It's just like super lucky to be in a place where you can have a garden.
Yeah.
Like it's so good to find that spot and to grow the food and like nurture little baby plants. It just feels so good.
Watching them grow. It's like a living thing.
It's like, I don't have any kids or anything, but like, man, I feel like a really proud papa when I'm out there helping everything. I'm like, oh, you're getting eaten by a slug? I'll deal with this. I love gardening. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you all love cooking as much as you love gardening?
Yes, I love cooking.
So you all are foodies too.
Yeah, a little bit. I get, stuck in my ruts and only make the same thing. I need the same. Yeah, I need to break out. This year I've been thinking about trying to make some new stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. He's going to be on TikTok showing you. All right. So when did you start Turtle Farm Pottery?
Turtle Farm. So when I graduated Berea in 2017, we were living here and had this studio. So right away just started making pots when I graduated in 17. And then trying to develop glazes that look good, which is really actually pretty hard. So it took me a year or so to like kind of get things to where I thought like, hey, maybe someone would buy this. And so I say I started in 17 and we started setting up at some little craft festival or like a little weekend market or something. And then by 2018, we had really gotten things going. And, like you were saying with the music, I feel like the music definitely is one of the biggest successes behind Turtle Farm because we knew all the local businesses owners in the area just from being immersed in the community through music. And so I was able to go around and by like 2018, 2019, we had like over 15 like wholesale accounts around the gorge.
Wow, that's a lot.
It was a lot. And so that was the whole business. We quit doing all craft festivals. And then we were just like churning out mugs mostly. And I would do what I called the Slade Parade, where I'd go down every Friday and just deliver them to like every place. And then come back and make some more and do it again. And that was the whole business. And then the pandemic hit and that all stopped immediately.
Yeah.
So that's when we started the website and started transitioning. And then by like, I think it was 21, that we got the brick going, that Clifton started
Yeah,
renovating.
I think
the
it
brick.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
21 or 22. No, I think it was 21. Yeah. Clifton got the brick going, and we were able to get our pottery shop in there. So that's like our exclusive gallery now. So we stopped doing wholesale and put all our efforts into getting that place up and running. And that's been really great for us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And how would you like explain your style? Like it's so beautiful. Where's your like inspiration coming from, and like how do you explain like the style of the pots you make?
Yeah. I think it's like, honestly, I think it's my inspiration is coming from all kinds of spots. From the ceramic community for sure. You know, I'm just trying to stay hip on what people are making out there. You know, the top players in our field. You know, I see that I get the Ceramics Monthly magazine every month, and I'm paying attention there. And on social media, you know, I'm watching that stuff and trying to be inspired by what other people are doing, but also like living out here, you can't help but be inspired by moss and butterflies and
Birds.
The garden is also a really big inspiration, like artistic inspiration for me, like the shapes that I find out there, you know, like gourds and all these different flowers and stuff, colors. Yeah. But our style, that's hard to say. I'd say our style is evolving really.
Yeah.
Like, it's really, really hard to make pottery, and it's really hard to like come up with an actual like style or look or something. And I'm in this game for like the long run. Like I want to be a potter forever. And I'm not in a real big hurry to like define myself with a look, because there's endless amounts of things you can do. So honestly, I don't really tell people this usually, but I feel like I'm in like a foundational, like I'm just like, to put it in like a musical sense, I'm just working on the scales still, you know, like
Yeah.
I'm just like working on my foundation, you know, like,
Yeah. You're mastering the pentatonic scale.
I'm trying to, yeah. I'm just doing it over and over. And I'm trying to make really, really good pottery. So it's like, to do that, it's really hard.
Yeah.
And
no pot is the same, right?
no, because it's handmade, you know.
Yeah.
You can make them close or whatever. And I try and do that all the time. But
Yeah, because you don't have any big machines back here molding or anything like that. You're doing it all by hand.
right. Yeah. Everything's thrown on these wheels.
Yeah.
We have a slab roller. We roll out slabs, but that's still hand manipulated. And yeah, but yeah, we're just trying to honestly explore, try and stay playful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, what I'm doing like with my pottery business is, on one end of a spectrum is like me as like a total far out artist that doesn't care if people buy my stuff. I'm just creating for like the sense of like creating and like just the wildest things I can imagine. I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
But on the other end of the spectrum is like making a living.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like just churning it all out. And then, so I've tried to gauge Turtle Farm to be as close to in the middle as possible, tending towards the creative side.
Yeah.
Right. Because I'm 42 years old and I'm at a stage in my life where I want to make a living.
Yeah.
I can't just like, you know, I didn't make much money off music. I can't just keep pursuing these dreams that don't pay anything. So it's like, so I've kind of tried to find this sweet spot where I can be the artist that I am and that I want to be, but also make a living at it.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you kind of like drew a pie out, like how much of the business is online, how much of the business is wholesale, how much of the business is retail?
Yeah. It's 70% all at the brick in retail.
Okay.
And about 30% on the website.
Okay.
There's some small percentages for wholesale. We still make some mugs for Miguel's Pizza, our local favorites. And then if we have some extra pots, we'll do like an artisan show or something here and there, but it's not a big percentage of the pie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like how many states have you shipped products to?
I think all of them. Yeah.
Really?
I mean, essentially, yeah. I mean, we've definitely shipped to Alaska. We shipped there just last week, Hawaii,
Wow.
and then all over the continental U.S. Yeah.
When you started doing a lot of TikToks a couple of years ago.
Right.
And you've got an awesome following on there now, close to 20,000 followers, I think, and a lot of views.
Yeah.
So has that helped grow your online business? Have you seen like acquiring customers from TikTok?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's a lot to keep up with social media and TikTok and posting like that. But I put a questionnaire on the website that's like, hey, when someone makes a purchase, they're prompted like, how did you hear about us? TikTok, Instagram, the brick. And so I started tracking it that way. And yeah, we saw a lot when I was putting more energy into TikTok.
Yeah.
We saw quite a few people that were like, hey, yeah, TikTok. Yeah.
Do you have like plans on trying to grow that or do more with it? Or are
Yeah.
you taking a break?
I am taking a break. Going into this year, I don't think I've made a TikTok. And it's May. So I'm definitely taking a break.
Almost halfway through the year.
Yeah.
I think you're taking a break.
I guess I'm taking a break on social media mostly.
We were talking about how you narrated your videos before we started recording here.
Yeah.
I love that.
You do?
Yeah. You're such a good storyteller.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. It's I use my TikTok voice when I do that. Some people like it. I think some people don't. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's the internet.
That's the internet.
Yeah.
It's hard to expose yourself on the internet, to be vulnerable and oh man, that's why I'm really taking a break. It was a lot for me.
Yeah.
Because we did have a little bit of success, like you said.
Oh yeah.
And
the more views you get, the more comments you're going to get. And people on the internet are just mean.
They can be mean. Our community, I was posting such positive stuff, I feel like. So we were getting a lot of positivity back. But there was definitely some stuff in there that would
It only takes one comment.
It only takes one comment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's like, okay, well now for the next 3 days, that's all I'm going to think about.
Yeah.
Is this negative comment. And it's going to and I try and get over that, but really that's how it goes.
Yeah. I've tried to totally ignore it.
Really?
Like positive ones, negative ones, because I'm the same way. If I see something negative, it's really going to, take over me. And I'm just going to be in a sour mood for probably like a week. It's going to do some damage for sure.
Yeah.
So I just tried to not even pay attention.
That's good.
Which is really hard to do
when
you're in this space because you want feedback so you can do it better the next time. But also it's like when you get those comments, it just, something takes over you.
It does. What I started doing at the end of last year, before I would make a social media post, I would sit on it and I would be I would wait, 12 hours or something. I'd make a reel and then I'd rewatch it and I'd be like, am I proud of this? Do I like this? Do I find value in this myself? And I would try and ask myself that and be real about that. Am I doing this for someone else or do I think this is good? This is good content I want to put out in the world. And after I would assess that and say yeah, okay, I personally feel good about this. Then I can post it and let go like you're talking about.
Yeah.
Where it's if someone says something negative, it's man, that's their perspective.
Yeah.
But I feel good about it.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to get swept away by what other people think online.
For sure. For sure. And going back to entrepreneurship and owning a business, we know how hard that is. But what are some of the challenges that you've came across in this journey? Some that kind of stuck out to you, and you overcame it?
Yo, man, QuickBooks Online.
It's good to know the numbers.
Yeah. That was really hard. Honestly, surprisingly hard for me to get that software learned. That almost took me down. I had some pretty rough little patches because it was really important for me to know the numbers, but it was really hard for me to learn that software and get my head around that. So that was that was definitely a big one, a huge one for me. And now I've got it down, and like now it's not an issue for me at all, which is amazing. I actually kind of enjoy it now. So that's really cool. That's the really cool thing about entrepreneurship. I mean, like, geez, I'm like head of, like, I just want to be a potter. I didn't know I was going to be like head of marketing, accounting, CEO, like social media coordinator. Like I wear so many hats, and it's actually pretty fun because I like that. You know? I like to do a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah. What's your favorite part
of like all those things?
Of the business.
Making the pots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I do all of it just to like, for those days where I'm in here for like 8 to 10 hours, just cranking out pots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listening to tunes, listening to podcasts, and like just following the shapes around. Yeah.
Yeah. What people can't see on the camera right now, there's about 8 chickens in front of us.
Oh, geez.
Laura let the chickens out.
Okay.
Do you have names for them all?
No, none of them have names. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
When it comes to harvest time, it makes it easier.
Yeah, those are for egg production, but
okay.
But you know, one of them got taken by a hawk, and we used to name our chickens. Now it's just easier if we just call them the chickens. Yeah. We name our cats and dogs though.
That's good.
Yeah.
That was a sweet dog that came up earlier.
Yeah, that was Brutus.
Yeah,
he was on TikTok.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Was that a rescue dog?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right.
He was born here actually. Yeah. Laura rescued a mama dog, and then it had 9 puppies here.
That video you were doing about the puppies there for a little bit, those were getting a lot of traction.
That's kind of why we got some success, I think, was the puppies.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's a couple pottery videos that got a lot of views, but
yeah. You can hear the drone. Do you hear that?
Yeah. Cool. Oh, look at the cat's looking at the drone.
It's either a drone or an odd sounding bird.
Yeah. Cats love drones.
How many cats and dogs do you have?
Just the 2 cats and 1 dog. We got Grits and Chili Dog are our cats. Chili Dog was used to live at the bar at the station. We brought Chili Dog home, and then Brutus, our dog. That's it.
Okay.
And 8 chickens. That's it.
Cool.
Yeah.
So explain the operation you have here at this location. I know you have the brick where it's more retail, but at this location, what all happens?
This is where the magic happens for sure. This is our home where we live, but it's also our production facility. So, this is where the pots are like taken from like a block of clay and shaped into something that's usable, and then fired and glazed. I mean, the whole process it happens here.
Okay.
And then, things are barcoded and sent out from here. So it's like, there's either when pots are finished and come out of the kiln, they get barcoded and taken to the brick, or they get pictured and put online.
Okay.
And then we have a full shipping operation out here, with shipping all over the country. Yep.
Do you all have to take things to the post office, or are they coming here?
They come here.
That is incredible.
It's honestly a service that anybody can tap into. It's
Yeah.
a free service on the Postal Service website. You don't have to have a business or anything. You can just order a free pickup. And when they're on their route, they'll just swing by and pick up a package, but you have to be able to print your label and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you do UPS for bigger things, or do you only do post office?
Once in a while we do UPS. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to pay them to come pick it up though, unless they're coming out.
So you order Amazon something
Exactly.
you need,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's like, hey, you can take this package for me.
You got it. That's exactly what we do.
So smart.
Yeah. But they're also like, with what we ship in the smaller boxes, is usually a mug or 2, or, not too big of a box. So the Postal Service is usually a better price.
Yeah.
That first class service they provide is first class mail is really good, or priority, excuse me. Their priority mail service is great.
Yeah.
I mean, stuff anywhere around Kentucky, Ohio, like this region, Virginia, Tennessee, it gets there almost the next day.
That's great.
Sometimes 2 days. Yeah.
That's great. What is like a moment that you can remember at Turtle Farm Pottery getting the business going that just brought you so much joy?
I can still remember when we started the LLC. Like, I felt like when we officially, signed up with the state and like started an LLC, I remember getting the paper in my hand, and I remember walking all around the yard, and we had some friends here at the time, and I was just chanting LLC, and walking around with this paper. And I was so proud that we had done that we were like starting. Is that what you asked?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Can you ask it again? I might have
sure.
some other experiences.
So when you started, like in your journey of Turtle Farm Pottery, what is something that just gave you so much joy?
Yeah, there was that moment. Other things that are coming to mind is when we set up at the Mountain Mushroom Festival in Irvine, Kentucky, and we won the Best Booth Award in 2019. That made me really happy.
Very cool.
I like cried. I don't even know. It's not that big of a deal, but it was for me.
You were the best. That is a big deal.
I got
the best.
I have the plaque hanging up over in my office. Like, we put a lot of effort into it, so that was really special. Getting the brick up and running has been like a huge deal for us. Because like I was explaining with the wholesale journey and then the website and like craft festivals, the way like we were kind of just like struggling to find something that worked for us in a more consistent way where we could actually make a living. None of that other stuff was like really sustainable. So getting the brick up and running and working with Clifton on that has been like the biggest thing for our business. It actually made it into like a business that should last a while.
Yeah. And that relationship there, is it more of like a consignment kind of relationship?
Kinda, yeah, for sure. Like, so he owns the building and he owns that business, the ice cream coffee shop, the brick.
Yeah.
And then like it was this, when we made this deal right when he was renovating it before he even opened. And he's like,
okay,
so I'm going to do my ice cream coffee shop. And then the rest of the retail space is pretty much ours to set up a gallery. And he even gave us like artistic control over like the artwork on the walls and stuff. So we printed like pictures of us throwing pots and blew them up big, and made it into like a cool ceramic gallery. And we hand built all the displays and put inset lighting and all that.
Yeah.
And so basically, and then that's how that works. And then his employees at the coffee shop, they sell the pottery for us. It all goes through there, and then we pay him a percentage.
Great.
Yeah, for doing that.
When you got started, of course, starting a business, you have to have some type of cash to get going. So financially, when you started, like how did you get the money to buy the equipment? What are some things you did creatively on the finance side?
Well, definitely like Berea College was a big help. When I was in school there, I was signing up for like small summer grants and different things. And they have a lot of resources there. So I was able to get money to get equipment and like glaze materials and different things for me to be working on, what I was majoring in, ceramics. I was able to work on that during the summer. They would give me some money for that. And so, and internships and different things. So I was able to really kind of outfit the studio with some materials. And then they actually did they sold some pottery wheels for cheap at one point when I was a student there, and I was able to get a wheel that worked for a great price, and then another wheel that was broken for an even better price. And so in the beginning, and even still now, I'm always scavenging for broken equipment because I'm good with tinkering with stuff, and all these wheels, I've fixed them all, I think. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's one thing. Pottery equipment's very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And so starting with just what I needed, getting good deals on it and fixing it up. And then I've never had a lot of money. So like growing within our means has been a big thing for me. There was like at no point really that I thought that this was actually going to be successful. And so I was never really in the beginning, never willing to take a loan or put myself in any financial risk. So I, instead of we haven't grown as fast, but we've grown steady.
Yeah.
And, we've always tested markets as much as we could before we would implement something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is smart, really. It was a side hustle in the beginning, right?
Totally.
And then just your sales kind of grew and grew and grew. And it's like, okay, I got enough cash to quit that job, still pay myself and reinvest some back into the business and just keep doing that.
Yeah.
At month to month, probably,
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. We've invested back into the business every year as much as we can. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah, for sure. What kind of advice would you give somebody that's looking to start a business, or if there's a potter out there getting into the pottery business?
Oh yeah. Just come work for us.
Yeah. It's a great place to be. You can actually just put a camper right on the side and live here.
That's right. Oh man. If there's a potter that was wanting to get into the business, I would say start small. I would say that make sure you have a facility that's good enough to take a pot through the whole process. There's nothing that's going to slow you down more if you can't glaze the pot, finish a pot and be proud of it. That's it's easy to make them and fire them but if you can't finish it all the way, it's hard to get set up to be able to finish pottery from beginning to finish. Make sure you got that all in place. And making pots is honestly really, really hard, but it's the easiest part of becoming a potter.
Yeah. Selling
pottery is actually the hard part. So
the business side of it's the hard part.
Yeah. It sucks, but it's really, really hard to sell pots. So I would think about what your market is, and tourism is an amazing, if you can get into any kind of area that has steady tourism, it's the best thing you could probably do for pottery, I think. Because it's a revolving market of new faces. If you're in a small community without a lot of tourism, people are going to buy your pots and then they're going to have them.
Yeah.
And then they're not going to buy them anymore. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
And being in a tourism kind of area, like if I'm a tourist going somewhere, it's like you buy a tangible thing that reminds you of that area that's unique to that area. And buying a mug is like a great way to do that.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I think if I was just getting into it, I'd think about how much money do I need to be successful? You know what I mean? Is it $30,000 a year? Is it 50? I'd think about that, and then I would do some numbers to see what does that mean? How much pottery do I have to actually sell?
Yeah.
If I want to make $40,000 a year profit, I've got to sell 6 figures.
Yeah.
So just think about those numbers and what your costs are for clay and firing, and then what you actually think you can make off your pottery.
Right.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you miss the van life?
No. I'm happy I had it, but
I bet you learned a lot.
Definitely. Honestly, whenever I moved into a van, I've never felt that kind of bliss. It was really strange and unexpected, but I was going to school in LA, and I didn't even have a place to park it. I didn't know where I could take showers, where I could get drinking water, and I had to figure out those basic human necessities for the first time. It wasn't handed to me.
Yeah.
And when I figured out those things, got that shower and got that water and a safe place to sleep, I've never been happier. It's strange, but yeah. The thing about a van life is you can't, it's really hard to build on your experiences to grow something that's lasting, that matures, that compounds on itself. We were always just going to the next spot, and that's cool.
Yeah.
And all these new, fresh experiences are a really wonderful thing in life, but we've been here for over 10 years now in the same spot, and the things we've been able to work on each year have grown, and we continue to work on them. It's like gardening, it's it's nice to be in one spot because you can actually grow something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And that's a cool thing with the pottery, it just gets better every year because we're just working on it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are really good at it.
Thanks,
what's the future of Turtle Farm look like?
Well, We have been trying to get to a place where we could teach some classes.
Oh, great.
Yeah. For the whole time we've been a business. But it's really hard. It's been honestly just hard to deal with the growth of production because we have such a small studio.
Mm-hmm.
This is all we have. And, so we can't really have like a full production studio and then have classes out here and stuff like that. So we've been trying to figure it out. But we just got a building in Campton. It's a small building downtown, but
oh, great.
We're in the works of running the numbers and seeing if we can make that into a teaching facility, like an exclusive teaching facility. That's in the works for us. And if that space doesn't end up working out, we've got our eyes wide open for a space that does. And that's what we would like to become, like a part of like a creative synergy here in our community, a place where people can come and like express their creativity through clay. And, the equipment is very expensive and it's hard to get into. So we'd like to have a facility where people, that are interested can come check it out. Like people like me, like when I was in high school, that maybe stuff's not working for them, and maybe that would be an experience that could lead them in an interesting direction in life. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good business opportunity for you all too, because selling your time is very profitable.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It would be neat addition to the business.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also a way for us to like kind of age gracefully because my joints are always screaming from heavy production.
Yeah.
So it'd be a way that if we're dealing with physical issues, we can still make a living within the business.
Yeah.
By teaching other people. Yeah.
Tell the people where they can find your pottery.
You can find it on our website at turtlefarmpottery.com, or you could head on, if you're coming to the Gorge, a little weekend vacation or something, you can head down to the Brick.
Which I highly recommend.
That's great.
It is a beautiful area, especially if you like rock climbing.
Yeah.
Or just the outdoor adventures.
Hiking, camping, playing in the river, going swimming. You can get a burger and a beer at Skyward Station across the street, and then just stumble across the road and grab some ice cream and some pottery at the Brick. We the Brick has like our full line of pottery, not just mugs or stuff. Find bowls and covered jars and whatever you want there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time here, man.
This is fun. Great. It's good to see you.
Yeah, you too. Yeah. I think we should go to part 2 of this video.
Okay.
So if you are watching, we are going to do part 2 of this video. We're going to tour around the studio and sort of get a behind the scenes look of how Casey runs Turtle Farm Pottery. Hopefully we can make something.
Sure. Why not?
We'll get some clay out and probably spin it around a little bit.
That's what we do.
Maybe even eat it. I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't, but you could try it. I mean, I've tried it. I haven't. You
ate like 9 inches of it on TikTok.
I did. But that was like a optical illusion.
That was for the views.
Yeah, it was just for the views, man.
Well, thanks so much, man. That's another edition of Adventures in Business. Thanks for watching.